Good day, Angelinians. Paxet Venya Adeo. In this video, we are going to discuss about business letters. One of the most common forms of business correspondence are business letters. These are formal messages written, typed, or printed and is typically sent from one organization to another party outside the organization, like the customers, the clients, or partners. Business correspondence or business letters, these are documents that you will most probably encounter in the workplace and in school. Thus, it is imperative for you to learn how to write them effectively. It is not always possible for business people to remember each and every detail in the business. They use the simplest way of expressing, that is, through written correspondence. A written correspondence in the business world is what we call business correspondence. Any person related to a business expresses oneself through business correspondence. One can also ask any doubt or uncertainty through business correspondence. Many forms of correspondence are available for us to explore, depending on the purpose of the sender. Three of the most common forms are letters, memos, and emails. An effective business letter elicits the expected response from the readers. This can be achieved through a concise, tactful, and accurate writing style. A business letter serves several purposes. It can be for efforts, for complaints, for information dissemination, for relationship building, problem solving, and many others. Let's stop before we move on. Okay, I want to ask you this question. Which of the following are not considered business correspondence and why? Emails, memos, written communication, telephone conversation, and face to face communication. I'll give you a few minutes to think of your answer. The answers are telephone conversation and face to face communication are not considered business correspondence. Why? Because a correspondence is a written communication between persons. Any oral communication is not a business correspondence. So remember that a correspondence is a written communication between persons. Let's now move on to the parts of a business letter. In writing a business letter, you need to put the necessary details in it. We have the what we call standard parts, and the other parts are optional. Let us start with the letterhead. The letterhead identifies the writer, his or her address, and contact details, such as mobile phone number and email. Before, this was termed as heading, which contained the return address. It then became optional when the letterhead was made available. If you are applying for a job, make sure that uh, the contact number or the phone number and the email address that you are going to provide to the employer, make sure that they are active so that if they will contact you or if they will get in touch with you, you would um, easily see or you would see the message sent to you right away. Next, we have the date. It is placed between the letterhead and the inside address. Again, when you write the date, make sure that you write it completely. Okay, do not use numerals. Okay. Next, we have the inside address. This identifies the reader's name, position, and company, and the address of the company. It is placed immediately below the date. In this part, knowing the exact name of the recipient of the letter is an advantage, especially for application letters. Next is the attention line. Well, this is optional. The attention line is used when the writer wishes to address the whole company but wants to bring the attention of a particular person in the company. This helps to immediately notify that particular person. How is this written? There are two formats. First is we can write example, attention, Dr. Hilda Cores. So there is no colon after the word attention. Another format is we can put a colon after the word attention. Example, attention, then you put a colon, Dr. Hilda Cores. The next part of the business letter is what we call the salutation. It refers to the writer's greeting to the reader. This is a greeting that usually begins with the word dear, followed by the name and title of the addressee. Three formats in writing the salutation. It can be dear sir, colon, or dear ma'am, colon. Or we can also write sir or ma'am, colon. And another one is dear Mr. Garcia, colon. In the slide, the salutation part of the letter, dear Dr. Cores, colon, follows the third format. Next part of the business letter is what we call the body. This contains the message of the letter. Here, the paragraphs are single spaced internally, but double spaced to separate the paragraphs. If the letter is too short, the body can be double spaced internally and triple spaced to separate the paragraphs. This part of the business letter contains the main text or message that you are writing. You may begin your letter with a short introduction, then you may follow it up with the full message. You may also add other details. And finally, you thank the recipient and ask for some kind of action to be taken. Remember that the body part of a letter differs depending on its purpose. Next, we have the complementary clause. This refers to the expression used to end a letter. Please take note of the levels of formality that a complementary clause falls under. These are highly formal, polite and formal, less formal, and informal and friendly. For the highly formal, we use it when we write to persons in authority, like our boss or our teachers. We may use respectfully your, respectfully, or very respectfully. Remember that a complementary clause that has more than one word, only the first word is capitalized. For polite and formal, we may use very truly yours very truly, and yours truly. Less formal, we may use sincerely yours, or cordially yours. Now, for informal and friendly, let's say if you are sending an email to a colleague or your classmate, you may end your letter with as ever, best regards, kindest regards, or regards. Okay, next we have the part where the signature and the type's name of the sender is included. We call this the signature block. The type name can be in all capital letters or the CLC format. When we say CLC format, it means capital and lowercase. In the slide presented to you, the signature block followed the CLC format, capital and lowercase. Next, we have the identification initials. This is also optional. It indicates the typist's initials only if the sender is not the one who personally types the document. This is true for professionals who have office secretaries to do the typing for them. We also have the enclosure notation. This is also optional. We only include this if we are going to attach files to the letter. There are three formats in writing the enclosure notation. We can write the word enclosures if we have more than one attachment. And then open and close parentheses, you indicate there the number of files that you are going to attach. Now, if you are to attach only one file or one document, you can simply type enclosure. Okay, so it is capitalized. This word is capitalized. Another way of writing the enclosure notation is by simply typing lowercase letters ENC period or ENCL period. Again, this part may be optional in other letters. Next, we have the copy notation. This indicates the name of the secondary recipients of the letter. It is indicated by CC, which means carbon copy or courtesy copies. When you write an email, you will see the CC and the BCC in the two-line part. Okay? Now, now that almost every transaction is being done through emails, this feature has been very useful. It has even led us to use CC as a verb. Now, do you know that Merriam-Webster considers CC as a transitive verb? Yes, it means to send someone a copy. Can be an email, a letter, or a memo. Therefore, saying CC an email to a coworker, it also means to send that coworker a copy. Okay? And others would say he had CC'd me on his reply. Okay? So it's in the past tense, CC'd. We now move on to the three formats of a business letter. The most commonly used format is full block, followed by modified block as another widely used format. And the list use style is called the semi-block. As you can see in this slide, the date and signature block parts are flushed to the right in the modified block format, while all the parts are flushed to the left in the full block format. Semi-block shows an indentation in the paragraphs with the date and signature block placed at the center margin. We now proceed to the guidelines in writing a business letter. As with the other text, you use correct format, punctuation, spelling, and grammar. Remember that you are building your professional image. Inconsistencies with this may ruin or destroy your image. Okay, next, you present your ideas clearly. You present your ideas clearly by using a language appropriate for the target readers. Arrange your ideas logically. This is very important for the smooth flow of your message in your letter. Use an active voice as much as possible. Apply a direct but tactful tone. This is to be achieved with your effective use of words. Next is you focus on the readers by using the you approach. This means writing in such a way that you are talking directly to the reader. You need to consider your sentence structures that are comprehensible to the recipient of your letter. Specify the name of the receiver of the letter. However, if it is impossible to get the name of the receiver, use a generic title like Dear Sales Director or Dear Hiring Manager. But it is an advantage if you know the complete name of the receiver of the letter. It means that you did your research about your company and about the company, and it will show that you are really interested to be part of it. Next, you leave 3 to 5 blank lines for a signature before typing your name. And lastly, never use plain numerals for dates because this will create confusion. So instead of writing 01/02/2021, okay, you use or you write January 2, 2021. Because if you are going to write or use plain numerals like 01/02/2021, do you mean January 2, 2021 or February 1, 2021? See, it's confusing, right? So do not use plain numerals for the dates. Okay, so that's it for business letters. Thank you, and may the good Lord reward us always.